Chicago City Film Office was rushed to the intensive care unit after being beaten up by what he says were 3 kids breaking into his car last week. This puts a new face on a growing problem in Chicago and cities across America. New police data reveal juvenile suspects are committing more than half of all carjackings in Chicago. And remember, carjackings, that's a category of crime that's ticked up by 77%. The city's Democratic mayor, Lori Lightfoot, says it's because the young people are unloved.
There are too many young people in this room who do not feel loved. Too many. And we've got to change that around if we're going to change around the trajectory of their lives.
Emily, former attorney, you have been in the prison system. What's your take on what she says?
I'm still an attorney, and my take is that that is a joke. Here's why the Chicago carjackings is at its highest level in more than 2 decades. And the task force created that has amassed multiple counties, multiple agencies, has determined this. And this is what the problem is. That the people that have been arrested for vehicle hijacking is only about 11% of the carjackings because they don't have enough evidence to prosecute. And of those, prosecutors approved the prosecutions in fewer than half of those cases. And in those, considering that at least half of the suspects are juveniles, they're being let out of the system and they're going free. They're being let easy because they are juveniles. So it's not that they are unloved, it's that there are no consequences, no deterrent consequences, and no resources, because that's a mayor that advocated for defunding the police. They have the data. They even have the day of the week that is the most vulnerable, the men, the age, the cars. Everything is in place that they need to be equipped to handle their business so that these kids and these thrill seekers are deterred from engaging in these violent carjackings that we report on every single day that have zero accountability for them.
In your experience, is this, I don't want to call it a gateway crime because it also can turn violent, a carjacking, depending on the situation. But is it one of those crimes that leads to more recidivism of different categories of crime?
Well, and most of the surrounding charges are actually not necessarily hijacking or carjacking itself, but possession of stolen property or whatever. There's ancillary crimes that are far more often charged. I think that generally speaking, the recidivism is within all of those categories. These are youth that they're not in school. They're just running wild on the streets, and everything that we are seeing includes robbery, includes assault, includes sometimes possession of a weapon. And yes, most of them do result in violence, especially if they try to resist.
Look, I know that this is a local issue. The federal government, via President Biden, though, has said that money, not love, money can cure this.
Right, it can't cure this. What can cure this are things like Operation Legend, where President Trump devoted federal resources and meaningfully prosecuted crime, didn't drop half the charges against Portland rioters, as President Biden did. But look, quickly, here's where she's right and here's where she's wrong. At the root of a lot of our society's maladies and problems is the fact that there are kids who do not have loving adult figures. She is right about that. That's always been part of a root cause of crime. But that didn't just start happening. Why is crime just now ticking up over the last 2 to 3 years? Well, it's because of lax DAs. It's lax judges like, Ketanji Brown Jackson, who gave people too lenient of sentences and they recommitted crime. So yes, being unloved is the root of this, but Democrats enable it when they don't punish it.